Nation, Boss Blunts, Marcel Klinovic here. If you just got up and you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, this should be about 5 minutes before we actually start. I'm going to put this out to actually get some people in here since I'm streaming live. And I didn't tell anybody about it just because I'm going to get this information out on these Brazilian depositary receipts. A lot of people think that these are nothing, that they're just shares in Brazil, but that's not the case. That there's a lot more to it than that, I promise you. Just adjust something there. This is basically these wonderful 513 million shares in Brazil. And I'm about to prove to you that these are 99.7% synthetic shares. Because Citigroup only owns 61.5 thousand shares. But they're supposed to have every single one of these shares that is represented by these derivatives called BDRs, Brazilian Depositary Receipts. So I'm going to stop there. Let me get a couple people in here, throw this up on Twitter real quick. So if you, like I said, if you're just getting here for the live stream, I'm giving people a chance to get in since I haven't told anybody about the stream. I'm just posting it up. What's up, Susan, Lizzie? Thank you guys for coming. Sharing this on Twitter now. Please feel free to do so if you'd like. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is interesting stuff. I am loving it. And I can almost guarantee that almost 100% of these freaking BDRs are fake. Out Twitter, good old jazz. Sorry for the delay. Put this puppy up on GME if it lets me. Thanks again for coming, everybody. This is some fun stuff for me. I love covering this information, especially when it shows us that we're going to make even more money. More money than we ever thought. Yeah, see, that's the math. Quick math right there. They're supposed to have 513 million of these BDRs, according to the Fintel and other market watch information. Citigroup, I'll prove to you as well that Citigroup has to pay their shit. You guys can start reading over that now if you'd like. Let me know if you have any trouble reading it. I can try to make it larger. Second, guys, I am just shuffling through. I've got so many windows open. I'm not ignoring you. Apologies if that's how it seems. Yeah, please tweet it, share it however you can. I'm going to pop it out there wherever I can at the moment. My good old friend Charles Payne. I'm not going to include Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's the shit. He's probably awake in Austin, Texas, drinking beers, chilling, drinking some whiskey, doing some bullshit. So yeah, he hasn't called me yet. I put out so much. I sent Joe Rogan's team an email and contacted him through his website to try to discuss some of this information that we've talked about in other videos about the economy and the debt ceiling and the bank derivatives crisis that these companies these corporations and mainstream media are not discussing. So yeah, we'll we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll call. Maybe Joe Rogan will come around and be like, hey, this guy is a little bit more interesting than these other fucks we had talking about AMC. Well, they did have some great, Adam Curry was talking about as well as some other people recently. But I think this is a lot more because it's an entire global crisis. Yeah, just add a couple people here again. Sorry. Is it shitty to hit up other people that are YouTubers, but I also do DD with? Because that's not my intention to be bogus or anything. Well, there's a lot of people that we do due diligence together. It's nice to have them come through. Let's see if that works. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate all of you. I know it's pretty late. It's 1:25 Central Time here, so it's not a great hour, but it doesn't change the fact that we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about some fun shit here. Where is my YouTube stream? There it is. Spark up a blunt, get a beer going, crack a beer. We'll start up here in about a minute. Grab some other details here. Get myself out of the way. Again to all you guys who are here. Jason Cornell, Black Zero, David, Lumix, Dugan, Jay, you guys are awesome. Susan, thank you so much for your support. We've been waiting about 3 minutes now. Appreciate your holding tight. Please drop a like if you can. It's good for the algorithm. Yo, what's up, homies? DD is good as my blunts. Thank you. I try. I can't help myself. I don't even want to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about this shit. But next thing I know, I'm like, man, I don't even want to go to sleep after reading this. I'm gonna talk about this with some people, and then maybe whoever's not able to watch this at midnight can pick it up on Saturday morning, and maybe it'll help somebody. What's up, David? Hey, thanks for checking your notifications, everybody. Jason Cornell says the space call was fire with Francisco. Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I know I saw you there. It was good having you. We've been doing all sorts of Twitter space calls lately. Oh, you sent Peter Hahn the information on the live stream? That's pretty cool. Thank you. I've talked to Peter on LinkedIn a little bit about the due diligence when I was first starting it, and I'm not going to tell you everything he told me other than he said that it was completely plausible, and it is looking more and more likely every day. That's as far as I can go into it without discussing any other details that he might not want me to say. What's up, Be Real? Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you. Mud and Ray, we're going to give people here like another 30 seconds to keep dropping on in here, and then we'll start up here talking about these Brazilian depository receipts, which are basically 100% synthetic shares. Almost 100%, my bad. Citigroup's got 61,000 of them, so they only need 99.7% more. What's up, Mud and Ray? Sorry, Dave. And you know what? I'll try not to make this long. I'll try to make this no more than a 20-minute video, just to get everybody the real lowdown on what's going to happen with these Brazilian shares. Be Real says, this is the closest I get to the Joe Rogan show. I hear you. You know, he does have a decent-sized audience on Spotify, and I do enjoy listening to his show, and especially when he's got cool guests on like Jordan Peterson and stuff like that. Those guys are are fantastic in my opinion. So yeah, let's take a quick look here. We're going to get this show on the road. Brazilian depositary receipts. This is as simple as this. These receipts are certificates representing shares of foreign companies in Brazil. People saying, like Matt Kors is saying on YouTube, oh, they're just shares in Brazil. That's normal. That's not normal. This is not okay. Check this out. This is A2MC34, Brazil. AMC Entertainment Holdings. It's currently going for $35.22 per certificate. Remember, these are not shares. These are certificates, BDRs. Why? Because there's one share for every 6 certificates. The reason being the differential in price between the US dollar and the Brazil, I don't even know what the hell they use over there. Forgive my ignorance, excuse my ignorance there. But the Brazil dollar, whatever the hell that is. This was posted by a gentleman on LinkedIn just a matter of hours ago, about 2 hours ago. I thought it was an odd time to post something as well. But because of that, I had to take a look at it right away. His name is Tom Majewski. All right, take a look at his profile right here. This guy has been very active online as far as LinkedIn goes. He's been doing great, spreading this in the community. Not just this, but I mean other things. Sorry, this was here. I posted a show about 1 day ago because it was yesterday, technically, because it's after midnight, and I was on a space call for over 4 hours, several of them. So these commodity futures trading commissions are not regulated by the SEC. They're regulated by the Commodities Future Trading Commission. They're the government entity responsible for regulating the U.S. derivatives market in Brazil that are being exploited and abused to enable the short hedge funds to manipulate our beloved AMC and GameStop. Watch this. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission is an agency of the U.S. government that regulates derivatives, futures, and swaps. They were created in 1974 by this asshole, Rostin Benham, the current chairman of the commodity, that he assumed office January 21st as part of the Biden administration. And he was preceded by this asshole. Oh, let me come down this way. Sorry about that. Heath Tarbert. He used to work for Citadel. See that right there? Sorry, as of April 6th, he is the chief at Citadel. Beautiful. And they've got their hands in every pocket. And so the SEC has no regulation in Brazil, and the reason that these are being traded in Brazil is because of Dodd-Frank. Let's get this out of the way here. You guys can check out One Punch Man. This is the way that the BDR program works. You've got these participants and roles. The custodian banks is the bank who owns these. That would be Citigroup. Citigroup owns all of these certificates. All right. Here's the proof. This is in Portuguese, but if you don't speak Portuguese, you can find this online. It's from Brazil's biggest bank, B3. And that's, if you don't speak Portuguese, says in English, quite literally, that CitiBank here is the custodian of these contracts. All right, and this report here is saved on my desktop now, but it's a 17-page long report from the Banco de Brasil, okay, B3. So going back to that, as you can see from this, it states that CitiBank is the custodian of these guys. That's these here. They're responsible for the custody of the equities underlying the BDRs. Now, do you guys follow me so far here? All right, I hope so. Give me a moment. I'm going to try to go slowly. I hope I'm not boring you. So there's all these parties that are involved. But the company, AMC, is not involved. All right, check this out. Adam Aaron has stated, in early June, we announced that all-inclusive share count of 513 million shares here in the United States. So if there's only 513 million shares and Citigroup owns 61,548 shares, how could Citigroup, CitiBank have 513 million shares to cover the 6 times that amount BDRs in Brazil? Look, Fintel's telling us right here that they don't have it. As of 8/10, the most recent filing disclosure on Fintel. Let me get a letter out. I got a letter from the president of AMC for you. Let me get this out for you guys here. Figure I have it ready, but there's just so many other ones that I can show you that I didn't want to rush it. Before I get to that, here's again that long document in full. Okay? And it states exactly AMC Entertainment Holdings out of Leawood, Kansas, USA. Banco B3 is the institution depositary, and the custodian is CitiBank. Bingo. We have figured that out. AMC has 513,000 legal shares in America. There's 61,000 owned by Citigroup. These banks here, Bank of New York Mellon, State Street, JP Morgan, Citigroup, and BNP Paribas have all these assets, these custodian banks in other countries. Sorry, the Brazil dollar is the real, I believe. The Brazil real. I can't believe I just forgot and remembered that. I don't know where. That was pretty stupid, but whatever. It is 1 in the morning. I've been drinking and having some smokes and talking on space calls and taking care of my family and business all day. So my apologies if I'm a little slow at the moment. Here is the document. Also, the actual format here in legal format, except the cut off. But you don't need to see that anyway because I already showed it to you in Portuguese, straight from the source. What else do we have here? John Merriweather, Vice President of Investor Relations. What's he telling us, guys? AMC has not issued any additional shares, and we have not listed any stock on any foreign exchanges. The number of issued and outstanding of AMC Class A common stock is 513,330,240 shares. Period. It appears that a Brazilian stock exchange has added the ability for Brazilian investors to trade unsponsored BDRs under the symbol A2MC34. BDRs are certificates representing shares of foreign companies traded in Brazil. All right, and that's AMC. And these are blocked in the account of the program's custodian institution. What does that mean? This means that these 513 million shares have to be blocked in an account for CitiBank. Now, this isn't just AMC that's telling us. It's in these regulations that's telling us as well. We'll move on to that here next. But it says directly, these BDRs are unsponsored and we have no involvement in the listing. The difference in outstanding shares reported on the Brazilian exchange is simply a conversion rate calculation. 6 AMC Brazilian Depositary, whatever the fuck they're called, man, BDRs here, sorry, again, it's late, are equal to 1 share of AMC. And where the hell do we just go? Citigroup only owns 61.5. All right. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that these are all the rest of these shares are synthetic, right? Yeah, I see rockets, I see fires. Drop a comment. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that comment, but Dave, thank you very much. David, Glizzy, Buddy Fox, Jonathan, Susan, Nancy, appreciate all of you. So this is directly from the Vice President of Investor Relations. This is directly from Fintel showing how many shares we've actually got. You got more coming your way. So now we are looking at all of these shares, and they're completely fake. These have to be handled on the Brazilian Stock Exchange. And there are 6 certificates for every 1 share. That's why the amount is divided by 6. And it is in the Brazilian real. They chose to express it that way through Banco B3 in Brazil here through CitiBank. And CitiBank is required to hold all of these shares. It's like literally hold them in their asset books at all times. Right fucking now, they have to have 513, etc. million shares to cover these 6 times that amount BDRs. All of these are fake, guys, and it's all shown directly through here. All right, I can give you these informations from the Brazilian stock exchanges. It's all in there, but I won't get into every little bit of it. Well, let's explain it like this, okay? These are backed securities, all right? They're quoted and traded in Brazilian reals, and they have to be settled according to the way that Brazil handles these funds. It's different from the way that America does. And it's a way in which a foreign company can trade securities in a company like AMC, and the underlying securities must actually be held, okay? At all times. So when that's not happening, where are they getting these shares from? Right? They must be all synthetic. This is the definition of a BDR. And as you can see is underlined here, the securities underlying the BDRs must be deposited with institutions. The BDR the institution here is B3, Banco de Brazil. And CitiBank is the depositary holder of these BDRs. There are unsponsored BDRs and there are sponsored BDRs. What the letter is telling us is that this is an unsponsored BDR without the support of the underlying company. It's the top one, because we just saw the letter. Right? Unsponsored by AMC. Launched without the support of the underlying company, and the securities are traded on this shit. The institutions, the depository, this is CitiBank, that issue level 1 BDRs, are responsible for disclosing information to the market. Although the program is registered with the CVM, the foreign issuers of shares represented by the level 1 unsponsored certificates are not required to register the company with the CVM. And proceeds cannot be raised in Brazil through the issuance of securities. So they can't do like an IPO, for example. However, they're just selling these certificates and they need to have them on hand at all times. Give me 1 second. BDR program is the ideal instrument for foreign companies to establish a presence in the most dynamic capital market. Latin America, they say. This is directly from Banco de Brazil's website on products. What does it say? The shares of the foreign company BDR's underlying assets are blocked abroad in the account of the program's custodian institution. This means that Citibank needs to have them blocked in their damn account. It's abroad from Brazil because it's here in the United States. And the underlying asset was AMC. So AMC must be in the account of Citibank. Unsponsored level 1. Issuer involvement, AMC? No. CVM registration, a program. Public offering? No. Trading on the stock exchange. That means it can be shorted to hell at whatever the fucking rate that Brazil's offering. And all they have to require for financial reporting is the GAAP reporting in the country of origin, which they don't even have to do much reporting at all. Okay, you can see all of this stuff, and unless you speak Portuguese, you're not going to get much right there. I don't need this anymore. 1 second. Shift the gears. That's these fuckers right here, guys. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me read this chat here and see what's happening in the chat, because it's popping. It's popping, and I'm falling behind. I apologize. I don't even know where the hell it went. I got so many damn tabs open. We still good for this future cycle, by the way, guys, in case you're wondering. This 2-week cycle, even though we had a couple of red days because we got shorted in places like Brazil and whatnot, they still got to roll over these futures, and the majority of them haven't, if any of them, haven't really been moved. Take a good read on this if you haven't. Basically, the futures have to hedge against the total return swaps. There's a gamma ramp up that occurs in a cyclical period. It lasts about 2 weeks. It happens every 3 months. You don't really have to worry about hedging the risk of these in between until the next first notice day. And this is the first notice day of the futures date. And this is the next futures date. And that's why they have to finish by that time. And then it happens again here at another 3-month period. They don't really have to worry about hedging. And now here we are towards the end of August and the beginning of September. And we have all the way through September 9th where they have to get these futures. As well as we have all the new implementation filings coming on. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Cheers to everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Silhouette says what's scary is that this is just one part of our system. You know, yeah, think of how much corruption runs deep throughout all areas. It is very scary. It's pertinent. Yelrem, thank you very much for your support. Yeah, I saw Astro, AMC, A2MC34, BZ, and these are all completely unsponsored. These are not traded on the American market, and Citibank has to maintain all of these on their books, and that's not what the case is. They don't have them on their books at all. You've only got 61,000. Yeah, here's the filing from B3, Banco de Brazil, showing that the security is involved in AMC Entertainment, and it is a level 1, and therefore being a level 1 unsponsored, we know that AMC, as well as John Merriweather's email, the vice president, from August 20th at 10:24 in the morning, whoever the fuck got this, Jimmy, whoever that is, you know, I didn't see. This all coincides, and this is an actual statement confirming all of this. So even if you think this is fake, this is not fake. This is a filing that B3 in Brazil had to turn in. And it says here that the regulator in the state of origin is the SEC. And while that's correct, the regulator in the state where this is occurring, these 513,000 legally issued shares that are in America, but supposedly Brazil also has that equivalent, these must be backed by securities listed in its home or other markets. That's America, AMC. The securities underlying, those shares, the 513 million shares represented by that 6 times that amount, those BDRs must be deposited with institutions. So they have to be that are in countries which have signed agreements with the Securities Commission, the CVM. The Brazilian Securities Commission has the relationship with CitiBank. Okay, as proven here. And as stated here, there are only 513 million legally issued shares. And as reiterated here and explained on the conversion rate calculation for the 6 times the 6-to-1 ratio for certificates to 1 share, because there's 6 times this many A2MC34, whatever the fuck his name is. There are, I can't even see it on here, excuse me. But anyways, yeah, there's 513 million shares and 6 times that amount in Brazil because they're certificates. And they're based off the Brazilian real. Let's take a look at the chart on that little fucker. It's not, oh yeah, did I forget to explain? This thing is brand spanking new. This is brand spanking new. You want to know the first date that this thing began? Let's see. 22, it was about a week ago. It's about a week ago. There's 3.08 billion shares outstanding for this stock. Again, that's 6 times 513 million. The price to sales ratio is this. Okay. And they don't have a 1-year return because it's a brand new fucking stock. They just made it so that they could short it because they have no other fucking choice. That's how desperate they are. Excuse me. And it's all synthetic shares. None of it is actually true. Why are they even showing this shit? Because if these certificates have nothing to do, they're unsponsored, and so they're not backed by AMC. Sorry, excuse me. Jesus. Yeah, they're fucked. And tits are jacked too. Yeah, when all this is right around the time we start seeing all that money going to the Cayman Islands. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Dave, this movie's going to have a trilogy. I fucking think so, man. Buddy Fox, cheers to you too. Lusitano. How many pieces of the puzzle are remaining? There's so many. There's so many. Linking CitiBank to Banco de Brazil, and then proving that there's 513 million shares linked to it that Citigroup has to have in their bank, and they don't. They don't have it in their bank. And this asshole, who is now working for Citadel, used to be the head of the CFTC. Now that Ralston Benham is, with the Joe Biden administration, Ralston Benham is in this position with the CFTC. But even though he's with Biden now on his administration, this is also, why would he allow them to make these certificates if we already know the short interest on this stuff? Why would he allow any of that to happen? Again, this is it. Look at this fucking Brazil abroad. It's got nothing to do with AMC. And it's all synthetic shares. Citigroup's latest disclosed ownership is 61.5 thousand. Got any questions, guys? Because it's too easy at this point. This is proof. If we own 85% of the float, and Citigroup also supposedly has 513 million shares in these BDRs, how many synthetics are there? How many billions and billions and billions of synthetics are there? Because this is proof of them right here. So anybody saying that these are legitimate Brazilian shares is full of shit. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have no fucking idea what they're talking about. These are not Brazilian shares. These are not shares at all. These are certificates. And they don't mean a goddamn thing. And you need 6 of them, Brazilian real, to make up 1 share of AMC. And they need to have 513 million of them to cover these 3.08 billion certificates that they have, supposedly. All right? What does that tell you? It is actual physical proof. As physical as it can get, you could reach out and touch it and look at every fucking piece of data set and don't have to reach. It all makes clear sense that these are all fake. All of these shares are fake. So at the very least, if there's not one more naked short than this, there's 513 million right there. And we have proof right in front of our eyes. Here's real AMC. So our baby. Look at the short volume. 92 million shares. How can there be a short volume of 92 million shares if CitiBank is supposed to have 513 million shares to cover the certificates that they have for these fucking things? Where are they at? They're supposed to have 513 million minus 61.5. So I didn't even add the smaller amounts there. So you see, even if you subtract the shares they do have, they still owe 513 million shares to these certificates in Brazil. So that means that Citigroup should have all of these in their account at every moment, according to their agreement with Banco de Brazil. We know that the percentage of shares shorted on this bullshit, not even naked shares, is 18%. 18%. How many shares are there really? 513. Supposedly 92.4 million shares, according to this, are share shorted. And supposedly, these BDRs need to be represented by 1 share for every thing in these, unsponsored level 1 BDRs that have nothing to do with AMC, that were implemented by Rostam Binam here after taking over for this asshole that went to go work for Citadel. All right, like it's a layer upon layer upon layer of synthetic share. So there's 513. Let's see, hold on. Look, there's 513 million shares that CitiBank has to have in their account right now. Do they have them? I know they fucking don't, because I got a lot of fucking shares. And I know you do as well. And a lot of other people out there throughout the world do. And same for GameStop. So how do they have those in their account right now to maintain their agreement with Banco de Brazil, as well as these other 92 million shares, if they only have 61,500 reported to Fintel? And there has to be reported as well, because it's a long position through CitiBank. But again, their latest disclosed ownership is 61.5. Is that fun or what? And this is just one company with one particular brand new ETF that just came out, in the middle of August. This ETF was just created about a week and a half ago, as of today's date, August 28th. Let's go back to this. Here you go. What's he telling us? John Merriweather's telling us, check this shit out. That's where I was. Okay. I didn't see that he had linked it, but that's nice to see that he put it on there. I kind of glanced over the link. I don't know why that was ignorant of me, but I think I realized I was already at that domain name. I just deep down. So as you can see, 6 BDRs equal to 1 share of Class A stock, and they chose the conversion of the shares rather than the foreign exchange rate of US dollar to Brazilian real. Be safe and well. He gave us all the fucking answers we needed without breaking the law. Man's a fucking genius. We got to thank him right now. We got to thank him. We got to thank Adam Aaron. All of these cats. And these guys, this asshole is working with this asshole and this one as well. Both of them. Rostin Bingham, he's not our friend. Joe Biden, he's not our friend. Heath Tarbert is definitely not our friend. He's working with Citadel. These are the futures contracts, which you'll see that guy Astro, as well as you'll see this on Reddit through a few different people. Broca and Cryand both have separate futures theories. I want to give credit where credit is due. This is a 3-month contract of total return swaps. These are, derivatives. These are like credit default swaps, CDOs, super senior synthetic shares, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is a bunch of crap. Kicked down the line from 2008, and they kick it down every 3 months. This is how they do it. Boom, run up, and then shorting, and sell off, shorting. And then here we hit the beginning of the 3-month period, a gamma ramp up as the stock. The loss of hedging and the gamma squeezing and the FOMO buying ramps up our stock. And it took it took our GameStop, our beloved GameStop, from 27 through 200-ish. Then we had 3 months of shorting and ramp down, and some selling off and some shorting and ramping down. And everybody knows that the shorts are still in the position, and we're not going to leave. So until we see incredible numbers, that's when we'll leave. And again, here we went for the ride again. We went from May 26th for GameStop. I recall this was about 162-ish. And we FOMO'd, gamma squeezed ever so slightly. They didn't really cover a goddamn thing. They just rolled everything over in these futures contracts as well. They rolled them over in this 2-week period. And then they shorted the fuck out of it, which caused some FOMO selling. And then they continued to short it and short it, play games with the options chain, try to get people to lose money, et cetera, et cetera. And now we are here. And this is what's going to be the start of a beautiful week next week. And we're going to be having a great time from, I believe, August 30th, Monday, all the way through Thursday, September 9th. Or at least, I'm not saying every day is going to be green. I'm just saying that we're going to have the possibility for the next 2 weeks to be incredibly green compared to red days is going to be very high. So this is not financial advice. Use your own judgment. Someone tagged Gary Gensler, So yeah, thank you guys for your support. Do you guys have any questions? Please let me know here. I've got so much that we could discuss here, and I don't want to just ramble on. But yeah, I think this can be the end of this video. I just want to thank you guys all for coming out so late and checking this out. If you have any questions, I will answer them as quickly as I can. I will tell you that, the U.S. has 513 million supposedly, since that's what we're trading on. We own the float as retail investors already. Institutions are buying it up like crazy, and now supposedly Citigroup also owns 513 million shares to cover their certificates in Brazil. So that's 1.23 billion of AMC already. Hey guys, can you do math? Because I can do math. I know I'm dumb money, but I can do 1 + 1 = 3. Adam Aaron has shown us exactly how many shares we have. The presidents and vice presidents have issued outstanding shares of Class A common stock to this exact number, and they have nothing listed on any foreign exchanges. That's it. Proof of the short squeeze? How much more do you need? Because I'm going to go through every single one until we find every single synthetic share. Well, at least as many as we can find before the squeeze actually happens, because it's an inevitability that with the debt ceiling and everything that's occurring, the government crisis, the eviction moratorium, people that need to repay their student loans, inflation getting out of control, unemployment at high levels, supply and demand and supply chain and incredibly tightening situations that are hurting our economy and our stock market. And our stock market is artificially inflated by banks through over leveraging in the hundreds of trillions of dollars range. And when I say hundreds of trillions, I say $190 trillion of derivatives. That does not include naked shorts. It does not include the cost of shorts that are marked as long, which turns their assets into a liability. Which turns their liability into an asset. So they're cooking the books because it's a possible loss or a probable loss because it's unrealized. And it shows it as a profit in their revenue. So they're literally lying on every single report that they submit to the federal government, to the IRS, to the American people. Have a great night. Have a great day. I wish you the best. Let's make a lot of money on AMC. That is going to make me very happy. I hope everybody does very well. Thanks again, guys. Let's see what we got here. If you guys got any questions, we can talk. The green day, red day predictions. I don't mean it to be a prediction as to which day is going to be green, which day is going to be red. It's just an example of what is happening with the futures contracts, and anything and everything should be taken with a grain of salt. This stock can be manipulated by these assholes opening up shares in Brazil, for example, with 513 million more synthetics when Citigroup only has 61,000, and even though it's not sponsored by AMC. Okay. So the manipulation is clear. If you're smart, you can make a lot of money. If you're dumb, you can call us dumb. Pick yours. I don't care. Swiss National Bank quadrupled their AMC holdings last quarter. Hell yeah, they did. And so did BlackRock and Vanguard and Fidelity and a shitload of other companies. Pension funds and states. 38 states have AMC and GameStop in